Ones I've seen in my own journey, and I'm sure you can agree, that the way that narcissistic individuals cause a relationship to end is very brutal. They do some of the most cold, calculated, wickedest things to bring a relationship to a close. Some of them will use the sympathy card. I even saw in a comment someone mentioned that they lied about having cancer. But they can do some of the things that you wouldn't expect from them to do. They will do some of the most deranged types of actions to cause a relationship to end. And, you know, it's what I haven't seen people touch on is the reason why they do this. There is a reason behind why they do this in such a brutal fashion, but I'll get into that a bit later. But they do some of the most cold, calculated stuff, as I said, in a way to just cause you pain. They put you through extreme amounts of suffering through these breakups, where they ghost you, they discard you like nothing. They ghost you. They devalue you all the way through the relationship up until the point of when it comes to an end, and then the devaluation still carries on after the relationship's ended, where they might throw their flying monkeys in or do such a major smear campaign that it causes you so much grief. But there's as I mentioned, there's a reason behind this. There's something with their thinking that makes them do this. Yeah, there's something with the way that they're thinking in why they need to carry out such an outrageous attack on us. Yeah, there's a reason for it. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It will take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you very much. But the reason why they do this is a very simple answer. It's because you're chosen. You see, like, through the relationship, you cause them great amount of suffering. You may not realize it now, but you cause them huge amounts of suffering. You know, they really thought that you were someone they could easily manipulate. And I know all of us have been manipulated out there. All of us have been manipulated, but they thought you were someone. They knew you as an empath. They knew you were chosen. But they thought that they could easily, the supply you give them is infinite amounts of supply that you give to them. But they didn't realize that you weren't that easy to mold. You know, you've got a strong backbone. Regardless of what they put you through, trust me, believe me so. You won't see, if you know, you only see this after some period of time when you look back in retrospect and you realize that you caused them pain throughout the relationship. You know, you caused them, like, this can be even in friendships, this can even be in parents. You cause them, whatever kind of relationship type you're in, you cause them great amount of grief, so much grief through the course of the relationship, that they felt like they needed to break up with you in the most toxic way possible. They needed to break up with you in the most toxic ways possible to silence you. And that silencing is the reason why they do it in such a catastrophic way. Is that silencing at the end of the spectrum, they wanted you to commit suicide. Yeah, you may find this hard to believe, but they wanted to bring you so much pain and misery that they wanted you to commit suicide. They wanted you to take your own life. Yeah, you got to understand that by you taking your own life, that would give them the biggest amount of supply. That's why they aim for you to do it, and none of us are going to do that here. Yeah, I'm just bringing it to your attention because they're plugged into these entities in a demonic realm. Like, one of the things that they get thrills off is suicide. Yeah, and this is why they put you through. So they've trauma bonded you through the relationship. The reason why it's so harsh at the end, and when the mask slips and they do discard you, is because they trauma bonded you through the relationship. They love bombed you and they devalued you over time, and they went hot and cold, and they gave you certain glimmers of hope, and they gave you false flattery, and they done a myriad of things to manipulate your emotions, but they could never fully. And it's not like you think, oh, I could have changed for them. I'm saying they couldn't get you. You weren't as much of a sucker as they thought you were. You weren't as much of an easy target as they thought you were. You were harder to break. That's why I'm saying that's why they do such a toxic discard, and they end the relationship in such a toxic way to bring you the most amount of pain. You've got to understand, with all pain is supply. If they can sit alone somewhere and imagine the suffering you're going through, that gives them supply, because they know it's inflicted. It's inflicted on you, and they want you to self-inflict damage on yourself as a result of that. You know, you'll hear the old cliche, oh, don't do anything silly. They'll say something like that. Don't do anything silly. Don't do anything stupid. You know, they really thought they knew you. Yeah. And some of us have done pleading, and we've tried to plead with them, and they've told us things like, I don't want to be with you, move on. We've pled with them, but we're trying to sort it out, because the whole time through the relationship, we were the problem solver. We were the ones that was solving the problems, you know. It was a huge puzzle that was laid out in front of us, and we was there trying to solve the problems and trying to work this all out. And all they were doing is jeopardizing each move that we make. Each move that we make, they'll just jeopardize. But look, there's a reason, as I mentioned, it all bases down to the fact that you're a chosen one. You're a being of light. God in the universe ordained this separation to take place beyond the comprehension of yourself, beyond the comprehension of the narcissist. Everything that was put in front of you was put there from the universe. It was put there from God. It was put there to bring you to a higher degree of thinking. It was put you there to awaken. It was to awaken you to the fact that you're not a toxic individual, that you're cut from a different cloth. It was here to awaken you and bring you to your best evolution state. You spiritually evolving through this. Yeah? Some of us are well into our healing journey. Some of us have just begun our healing journey. Some of us are fresh and relationships just ended, you know? But either way, you will eventually get on the track of understanding it. You will break it down. If you really understand what they wanted you to do when they broke up with you. That's why it wasn't done civilly. That's why they won't, the silent treatment. Like, they know giving you silent treatment and not giving you the answers you want to hear. Do you know how easy it is for them to give you the answers that you want to hear? Or have a civil discussion with you about terminating a relationship and bringing it to an end like an adult. You know how easy it is for them to do. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. Because they want to keep you there. And I'm not telling you that they want to keep you there as a form of supply. Yeah? Or to get the top supply out of you, and that's you committing suicide over them. And then they could soak up the sympathy as well. They'll start soaking up the sympathy. Oh no, my ex has committed suicide. Oh no, I should have been there for them. When they know they done it to you, you know? Do you know how many chosen ones or people or empaths have actually not awoken to the fact they're chosen, and they've taken their lives. They haven't actually got to the point that you're at now and awakening to the fact that you're chosen, and they've taken their own lives in these situations. Yeah, and it's through the devastating effects of such a toxic breakup. It's such a toxic ending. But they do this for the reason, because you're chosen. They know they need to inflict such a severe amount of damage to you for them to get what they want. They know they need to inflict such a severe amount of damage. Such a severe amount of damage. And that's why it's so brutal. But you've got to remember, I mention this in all my videos, you've got to understand we're not dealing with we're just a toxic individual here that's on a spectrum of some cluster B personalities, or whatever, if that's the right terminology, some personality disorder or something like that. You're dealing with a devil, man. You're dealing with a devil. You're dealing with an entity. You're dealing with someone that gets thrills off such sadistic kind of things. This is what they are. They're plugged into that realm. That's why you can't have a normal conversation with them. Yeah, and that's why they brought the relationship to an end in that way. Okay? But anyway, just remember, you've got high value, you're a chosen one, you're very high value, and that is the reason why they done it. They ended the relationship in such a toxic way. It's because you're chosen. They couldn't. And you know what, if you're still standing, sorry I forgot to mention, you're still standing, you're still battling on, maybe you've got no contact now, you're getting you're healing, you're getting yourself back together. It's not you're displeasing them. You know what I mean? You getting on with your life and helping yourself and finding your purpose and doing these things and just working on your journey, man. Watching these videos, just studying, you're learning. They don't want you doing this. They didn't want you to. This was a secret. You've unlocked their secret. You've unmasked them. Fully, you've unmasked them. It's very unlikely they'll be able to come around your presence, like, in a proper discussion with you, because you've unmasked them. Yeah? But anyway, that is the reason why they have such a toxic breakup with you, and it's such an overwhelming bunch of emotions that we go through during this discard and stuff like that. But anyway, thanks for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button, and I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.